But while you're filling this, she can be inside, or whoever can be inside, hit that switch. And if this tank, let's say it holds 30 gallons, by her hitting that pump, she'll go ahead, we'll be filling this tank, but she'll go ahead and be filling the water heater, all your water lines. So instead of going to your campsite with 30 gallons, you're going with probably 36, 38 gallons. The alternative is you fill this tank with 30 gallons, you get to the campsite, you hit the switch, boom, you lost 8 gallons of water immediately. Water's going to come by when you're camping without a city water hookup. Now the other version, of course, would be if you have a city water hookup, and in this case all you're going to do is hook from the city water connection to this connection right here with your hose. You don't need the pump because you're pulling off the pressure of the city water. One of the other things that I would do before I go inside the camper, this is the water heater. There's a little pressure valve right at the top. There's no water in this one, so nothing's going to come out. But after you have this full, now this would be once you get to the campsite. So you might have had to go to the potable water station to fill the tank, but now you're at the campsite. Before you go in, because one thing you're going to want to do immediately is light the hot water. Pull this little valve, and all you're going to have to do is just pop it. It's a pop-off valve. Water will gush out of that, and that tells you that the water level is all the way to the top, and this water tank, this water heater is safe to light. If you light this without water in it, it's going to overheat. It could catch on fire. It's got a styrofoam insulated jacket around it. That will melt down in about 10 seconds. So always hit that pressure valve and just make sure there's water all the way to the top. That's all you have to do with the water heater before you go inside. Let's go back to the sewer valve. You have two valves. You got a cover that's on here, of course. Now in most places, like our state park again, for example, you're just going to leave this cover on for now. This smaller line has got a 1.5 inch valve on it. To open it, it's just a gate valve. You just pull it. The bigger side is 3 inches. The big side goes from the toilet. Okay, that's called black water. The small side is gray water. That's coming from your shower or your kitchen sink. What you're going to want to do when that tank's full or when you're done camping is pull it to the dump station. Hook your sewer hose up. Now our trailers do not come with a sewer hose. So anything you need like that, you have to have your sales rep get for you. You want to pull the black first, so pull the big one first. Let all the sewage come out of the trailer. When that stops flowing, and you'll see it'll gush through that hose. You'll need to hold on to the hose a little bit. When that stops flowing, wait 30 seconds, close that valve, then open the gray valve. What that's going to accomplish is that gray water, even though it's dirty, it's not as dirty as the sewer. So that's that gray water, which is again your shower, your bathtub, and your kitchen sink. That'll flush all the sewage out of the hose. So that'll clean that up. All right, inside your trailer, where all the Rockwood Roos have a detachable power cord. So inside the trailer, you're going to find the cord. One of the prongs is a little different. You're going to line that up with the hole that's a little different on the power cord. That's going to fit in. You'll twist it and then put the locking ring on it. The other end, of course, will go to your shore power in the campground or at your house, wherever you're at. This is 30 amp. Plug it into as true a 30 amp as you can. If you plug it into a 20, when you turn the AC on, it'll probably pop the breaker. So try and get as good a 30 amp as you can. When you go to a campground, getting 30 amp is a tough situation. So just know you're going to have some problems with the AC, especially if it's real hot outside. So that's that. A couple more things before we go in. If you look down at the stabilizer jacks, this is what your wrench looks like. You can cut this off right here and put that in a battery powered drill to make it a little easier. But all that does is that fits right over that little nut. You twist it, the jacks come up and down. I'm going to leave them down in this case. Don't push them too hard when you're making them go down. They will not level the trailer. They're not made to level the trailer. They're made to stabilize it. So if the trailer is uncomfortably level from side to side, you stick a board underneath the tires. If it's uncomfortable front to back, you lower the tongue, raise the tongue. But do not use the jacks to do that. This rod is typically kept either in the storage compartment, or when you get the trailer new, it'll be in behind the couch. A couple more things outside. You do have some receptacles in case you want patio lights or whatever you're doing. This box here is the back of your refrigerator. An RV refrigerator can be powered in two ways. It can be powered by electric or by gas. When you look at the back, really there's two reasons to be in the back. Don't ever store anything in here. Follow that power cord and make sure it's plugged in at all times. And then if you look, you follow this gas tube. If you want it on gas, there's only one way to know that it's on gas, to know that it lit. There's no indicator lights or anything that says it's on gas. You follow that and you look right behind there, and right inside this box you'll see a little blue flame. So you'll have to kind of cup your hands to see it, but I'll show you how to turn it on when we get inside. This is a little drain tube, so if you've been camping for a couple of weeks and you get some ice build up in your freezer, it's going to come out this tube. So don't tuck it inside, this wood's going to get wet. So what you do is just stick that through one of the holes, doesn't matter which one. You see these little tabs, put them up in the top first, close the bottom, twist the little nuts, it's good to go. If you got a gas grill with your Rockwood Roo, they all have this rail on it. The grill slides on the rail. I don't know if it's... I think if you order it with it, then you have the gas fitting underneath. If you don't, you don't. One last thing. This is the furnace. This is the exhaust for the furnace. This gets extremely hot almost immediately when you light the furnace. So don't put a shed up against it. Don't put anything up against it. You have to let this breathe. If you put like a plastic Rubbermaid shed against this, it'll melt. This will be a couple hundred degrees immediately. All right, let's go inside. Inside, you got lights on and off. There is one light switch here for the outside, and then this bigger switch. See if you can get a picture of that, Chris. Wherever this is at in the coach, the switches can be in different places on every coach. It depends on how much wire they spooled off at the factory, literally. Grab that. You hit it towards in, then the slide will come in. The slide will, when it's all the way in or all the way out, will either stop making noise altogether or it'll ratchet. It just depends on the brand that the factory used. Okay, that ratchet's very normal. It just tells you that it's all the way in. You don't need to go any further. So we'll put it back out. So you get some lights on, you get the slide out, put your beds out. You've got your propane on, you've got the water. See if you can come around and get this monitor panel. If you had to use your fresh water tank, and see it's got a little bit in it from the factory, you would turn the pump on right there and you'll hear it growling.